Okay, we have a beautiful Thursday evening to fish. Not much recreationally going on. A couple of jet skiers. But man, let me tell you something. I just had to go get gas at a marina. And they're nice folks, and it's a great marina, and I realize they don't necessarily set their prices. But the marina gas is still a couple of dollars a gallon more expensive than it is at a gas station. And I don't normally fill up at the marina. Normally I go to town and fill gas cans, but I have not had time. And it's actually a long enough drive that it's not cheap for me to drive to town just for gas. Anyway, I'm still kind of in shell shock. Hopefully that will not keep me from finding some fish. So we'll get out there and see what we can find. And I really do appreciate y'all coming along for the trip with me. I'll see you in a few minutes. Alright, well, this is going to end up being a two-part video because I was out here on the lake and my phone started ringing off the hook. And I wanted to explore some new areas today, but I ended up taking several phone calls and ran out of time. So I'm going to fish for maybe half an hour or 45 minutes at a really known spot and see if anything's biting. And tomorrow, it's supposed to be nice. I'll try to find some different spots to fish. Now this bait, these lures, a lot of times I'll take them and I'll let them soak with some fish carcasses that I have cleaned. I just throw them in a Ziploc bag and let them freeze. Or I'll put them in the refrigerator if I'm going to be fishing within the next day or two. And I've done that with these just to add a little extra flavor, hoping that the fish will hang on better. The bite's been real subtle lately, and they've not been as likely to hang on. I gotta get used to this new reel I picked up last night. My other reel, the bell started messing up and I couldn't get it bent to where it would behave. There's our first fish. It's going back, but it's a good sign they're here. There's one. Still not very big. The way that hit, I thought it was going to be a little bigger than that. I was wrong. Yeah, something wants it, it's just not hanging on. There, something's hanging on. That may be the one that just popped off there a minute ago. That one's almost keeping size. It's fat, but I'd like it a little bit longer. There's a fish. It's going to drop us right back down. See if they want it vertical here. Well, oh, there was one. There we go. Just not catching anything. Not catching anything worth really bragging about. But, oh. At the same time, you don't really get to choose how big they are when they bite the hook. So, go a thump, reel it in, hope for the best. Something's really tempted down there. It's getting it in its mouth and then quitting on it. Oh, hit it and quit it going on. Come on, fish. We can be friends. Let's get this beast under control before it wrecks my boat. There we go. Back in the water with you. Think there'd be something right there, wouldn't you? Bite, but almost keeping size. Something was chasing it. There's no camera tricks to make that one look like a big fish. Back in the water. I think, oh, something might have been on there. There we go. Hush, hush. Another one that's just not very big. I might have hit on the crappie daycare or something. for the night shift, because normally I score some decent fish here, but I've never fished it this time in the evening before. Well, I don't think that's what was hitting it down there, but it could be. It's actually the best crappie we've caught so far, and it's still not one I'm going to keep. Okay, I'm out here for part 2. I only got to fish for about 45 minutes or so last night. And there is a spot I want to try today that I couldn't try last night because it was just getting too late. So let's see about part 2 and see if we can't find a big one. Crappie, that is. So hang in there and we'll get out to a spot and see what we can reel in. Had the camera off and then managed to catch this. That's not a bad crappie. We got a fish on. Not a bad looking crappie. Not a giant by any means. But it's been slow today, so I'll take it. Open up. There we go. I got too eager. Saw that line swimming. There we go. So either the bite's just turning on, or I found a really tight little group down there. Come on. Yeah, okay, safe to haul that one in. It seems that I found a school of about medium-sized crappie. Where's some of those 12 and 13-inch bad boys that I'm looking for? got? Oh, that's a nicer crappie. That's the best one of the day. He was down there playing it cool. Kind of thought something was messing with it. There we go. I'm down there messing with this one too. There we go. Now we're cooking with peanut oil. A little better fish coming in. Maybe there's a sign down there that says you must be this tall to ride this ride. You know, earlier, when I first got to the spot, and I had not caught a crappie yet, so it's been a little bit ago. Came across two bass fishermen. I just arrived at the spot. I pulled over to let them pass on through making their cast because I don't want to get in anybody's way. Really nice guys. And I recognize their names from the local lake Facebook page as well. But a shout out to the Litchfields. Really enjoyed meeting them and talking to them. I'll tell you, you meet some really nice people out here. I hope they caught a whole bunch of bass. I'd feel bad if they knew how many huge bass had jumped here since they passed through. I had something playing with it down there. We might have to drop that back down and see if that was a fish or a rock or something. We'll thump to get its attention again. It was a fish. This one gets to go free because it doesn't make the cut. Healthy looking crappie though, so with a little luck, I'll see it again in a couple of years. He's hooked, so I can't really just grab him and let him go. There we go. I'll tell you, up until the last week or so, they had really been hugging docks, and now it seems a pattern has pulled them a little ways away, not too far away from docks, but not hugging them like they were. Which is good and bad. It's bad because when they're hugging a dock, you can just slay them one after the other. They're grouped up tightly, and you just keep getting your line down about the same place. But it's good because when they're away from the docks, it's a lot easier to fish them because you're not having to worry about, you know, not catching people's props or boats or upholstery or docks. And since we're getting fall weather, we're getting those 7 and 8 mile an hour winds that really don't look like much unless you're sitting on a boat trying to stay still. And unfortunately, when you're doing that, it's really important to keep on top of making sure you're keeping yourself away from people's property. Well, this one gets to go back and go hang out with his gang of medium-sized fish. Small, medium. Okay, they're still deep though. They're not more than a couple of feet off the bottom. I believe that's fish. It is. I'll tell you, he took that hook and just sat there with it. He didn't really give any other indication. I have a feeling whatever that is swimming down there, it's hitting so hard it scared the crappie away. Well, got something nice here. Not a bad crappie, just as I said they were scared away. This little fat feller bites on the hook. Well, that's not a huge fish lengthwise, but filled out pretty good. There we go. What we got? A lively, nice little crappie that just drew my bait. He must have just barely been hanging on that lure. Again, a nice fat crappie. It's not super long, but it was filling out nicely. I'm telling you, I think we got good things in store in the fall. Okay, because of crappie, their desire for cover, structure, when you crappie fish, you're going to lose lures and hooks. It's just unavoidable. I've not been losing a lot this year, but every once in a while. There we go. That was subtle. Not a bad crappie, but that was really subtle. He was swimming with the hook at the exact speed and manner that I was reeling. I thought there was something on there. I was waiting for it to kind of set. That's why you see me doing these little sweeping motions or quick jig movements, because they are so subtle. But a lot of times you're not sure you have something until you give some tension to the line or create just enough slack that the fish kind of takes off with it. There's a small one that gets to go back. Hey, feisty feller, hold still for a second. Hey. Well, come on now. I guess I could blame myself for not gripping the hook tight enough. Go eat some Wheaties. I'll see you in a few years, maybe. Another little fella. Back in the drink. I've got plenty of fish in the bucket now that are good enough size that I can be super picky about what I keep. That one wouldn't have made any cut, but you know, something was playing with that. Come on. Don't feel very big. It's not. It's actually catfish bait. Stop. Back in the water with you. Noticed that there was a little odd drag on my retrieve. So I pulled the line up to check my lure, because when your lure is hanging off your jig head funny, it'll create just a different little feel of drag on your retrieve. So I took the moment and pulled the line and reset the lure, and sure enough, it was hanging off the hook. That's what I thought. Come on, that feels good. That is a nice crappie. See, I said I could be picky, and I'm picking this one. Some thick fillets on it for its length. Nice healthy crappie. Again, that was real subtle. I knew it had it. The only reason I knew there was a fish on the line was just watching the line. It just moved a little funny. So I'm at the end of my last battery. So I'm going to end it here as far as the part 2 of the video. Ended up catching some decent crappie. It took a while, and it took going back to the old reliable spot. But I am still going to fish for a little bit, because whatever it was that snapped my line a few minutes ago, I want to see if I can find it. If I happen to get it, I will snap a picture of it and include it in the video. So until next time, tight lines and fair fishing. Get a chance to take someone fishing with you, they'll love it.